Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you're having a fantastic day. We can take a look here again at ICP, see what's going on, help understand best practice, big picture for a situation like this. We've got our previous fib levels pulled up here. We can go ahead and update those obviously and pull up some back-end liquidation data here as well to kind of see if there's any potential for upper or lower sweeps. And then obviously just want to say thank you to my community. I'm super glad this worked out well for you. We got a nice little near protocol, 48%. For a long. We took that trade on Saturday. It was a good little 5x leverage trade. I like to highlight that because some people think that we take a lot of profit based on high leverage. Most of them are low leverage plays that can take a little while to play out. Okay, I mean, like ICP, for example, we've had a long open for like maybe a week right now. This is swing trading, folks. It's kind of how it works. While we're in profit, significant profit right now because we averaged in at about 820, we're still looking for that profit target in the $9 range. We may need to adjust that based on this analysis. We'll double check. But the key takeaway is that you got to be patient when you're trading, especially swing trading. If you're day trading, it may be a little bit different of a story. It's okay to be impatient in some cases because you can just jump in and jump out when you want. But again, you get eaten up on fees. It's different strategies, of course. But let's look at liquidation and see. But this is kind of par for the course for ICP. There's always liquidation just above and just below the price. It seems to range really well within liquidation levels. But right now we can see $9 upwards of $10 as some recent slash late longs here, or sorry, late shorts potentially going to get destroyed here by some longs. So if we look at the liquidation data based on larger, more macro, you can see there's way more liquidation on the upside than the downside. And this isn't like phenomenal amounts. Like that's like 300 to 400 million. Don't get me wrong, that's still a lot for ICP. But in comparison, like Bitcoin has 80 billion in liquidation just above the price action at 66,000 to give you some perspective, right? So there's different strategies, of course, for that. But the key takeaway here is that Bitcoin should continue higher because it's working itself into a channel and will likely break to the upside either with a bull flag or an ascending, rectangle type of breakout. That in combination with how well ICP is responding compared to most other coins right now is a very, very good sign for ICP. Okay, so let's talk about the macro and kind of work our way down, kind of see where we're at here. Okay, so just to clarify, let's jump right into the weekly, kind of see where we're at. Because again, if you look at the weekly time frame, as we discussed previously, moving averages, we're still below the 20-day SMA. We're not quite above that. That's going to be a big deal. Again, that's all the more reason why we want to break this descending trend line. You see how perfect that is lining up with it? That's why trend lines are important, folks. It really helps to understand what side of the tracks you're on. So technically, we still haven't established higher highs and higher lows. If you do look at last week's close, though, it closed at 850. Sorry, not last week. It was about a month ago. But the highest week closure was 850, and so far this week we're up about 865. Granted, this week literally just started, so that's kind of a little premature, but I would say the key takeaway here is closing at 850 or higher this week would be a very positive sign. That would also put us likely at the testing range of that resistance level or potentially even breaking through. MACD is converging here on the weekly, which is super strong. While we're under 50 on the RSI, stochastic and money flow index is increasing. Those are generally favorable signs. So while this is by no means perfect, that's pretty much crypto trading for you in the first place. That's a positive sign nonetheless. Okay, so let's take a quick look here on the daily. We can recognize where we're 50 on the RSI, money flow index is above. We always like to see that. Stochastic RSI is kind of diverging, but with the price being this high and stochastic pulling back, it's generally a favorable sign. You can also see MACD's had 2 FUs in the last couple of days or 4 or 5 trading days, and that's generally favorable too. A lot of kind of screw you, we're going to the moon here kind of thing. And I'm not saying moon, I am saying moon loosely when I say that. It's just a figure of speech. I don't literally mean that we're going to go to like $20, $30. It's just the simple way to understand it is that we have a bullish engulfing candle today. We've got a lot of reasons why ICP looks tremendously better than Bitcoin, and that's a very, very good sign. Okay, so again, just because it's having a good day doesn't mean it's going to continue, but it's generally positive if you see multiple confirming factors on a lot of different time frames. Keep in mind we have 400, now probably closer to 500 million in liquidation at that level. So just note, we got a lot of incentive for the price to continue higher up here. We have also, however, closed above the more recent high. And that just generally implies that we're establishing higher highs still. This is a nice channel. You could argue that this is a bear flag, but there's a lot of reasons why the price action is still more likely to continue higher from here. Okay, so again, I think this is potential, right? There is potential for something like that, just kind of throwing it out there, but I think the odds are pretty low unless Bitcoin takes a nosedive. Most coins will probably pull back if Bitcoin makes a run towards 60K or lower. Took a look here at the 4-hour time frame, we're over 50 on the RSI, fantastic. Money flow index is right there with it. That's actually generally a very favorable sign. We can see MACD's converging, and TSI is on its way up. So we got really good trend strength. We got really good moving averages all below the price action. There's zero reasons to consider shorting this coin right now. And again, I know if you're a flag type of person and you trade only on flags, good luck, because really patterns do have a tendency of being successful, right? But they always come with contributing factors. If everything's pointing up and you got one flag pattern that's pointing down, it makes no sense. Anyways, that was just an arbitrary couple of lines I drew on the chart. It's not necessarily a flag, I'm just saying in general. When you see things like that, try not to convince yourself that a pattern is going to break out and you're like the most amazing person because you shorted the top or you long the bottom. That doesn't matter at the end of the day. What matters is growing your portfolio and being a superstar for yourself, not for other people. Anyways, conversation for another day. Also make sure that you use, appropriate indicators in each separate time frame. Try not to be a 500 different time frame kind of person. That generally will give you analysis or paralysis by analysis, if you've ever heard of that. Also, don't do the inverse too and just simply use Elliott wave and nothing else. That's just crazy. Take a look here at the Ichimoku cloud. Let's confirm a couple of things. We can recognize we're above the cloud. Lagging spans free and clear. Conversion line is the baseline. ICP has every single reason why it should go up and not go down. Okay. Again, caveat here, Bitcoin pulls back, we could see a difference. But if you take a look at Bitcoin and you compare it with ICP, it's quite a stark reality as to how much better ICP is performing. You see Bitcoin went sideways and basically down. We see ICP is going sideways and up. Generally a favorable sign. When you see coins breaking free, that's what you want to look for. Okay, that's what we looked at when we were looking at Near Protocol before it flagged out back here in the 450 range. It's when we took our long. Again, just an example, but if you saw that video, you'll know that these type of patterns break out with other confirming factors, and there's a lot of them present here for ICP. So just kind of giving you that example. I'll post an updated playout chart here on our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord here in a moment, of course, as per usual. It looks a little something like this if you're not familiar with my channels. Do recommend jumping on over to our Discord, though. We got a really awesome group of traders here, and it's just a lot of fun. You guys and gals are just amazing. So thank you again for everything. I do look forward to working with you. If you want to jump on over to cryptocash.tech, I have trading alerts, signals, and a university. We'll see you all in the next one. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks for your time. Bye-bye.